Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome back to Lucy on Cars. If you're new around here, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, and apologies for the rattling around behind me. We're currently moving house. We've just moved house and we've got an entire tip load of rubbish in the back of this car. If you can hear a bit of rattling, it's probably that. It might be the car, you never know with these things. But right now we've got no warning lights, so that's a beautiful sight. It's a rare sight. Anyway, if you're new around here, welcome to the channel. I have owned this car for around a year now, and I thought today I would do a 1 year of ownership review. I'm going to talk about a few things I love, a few things I don't love, go through some costs, go through some repairs, what's gone wrong, what's gone right. But it's going to be quite a snappy video today, because if you've watched my channel before, you'll know a lot of these points already, but I thought this video might be good for someone who is considering buying one for themselves, and it's going to hopefully be like a one-stop shop for everything you need to know about this car. So I'm going to pull up in a second. Beautiful views of the South Downs behind me, and we're going to pull up, have a little walk around the car, have a little chat. So the reason I bought this car was, also I have a BMW 330e, and it's hybrid, it's quick, it's efficient, it's incredibly reliable, and obviously it's all under warranty. If anything goes wrong with it, it's brand new. So we leased that car. We wanted a second car to have as something that we're a little bit less scared of, something a little bit more rugged, something a little bit more accepting of mud, something we can take on walks, something we can like throw things in the back, do tip runs with, go on road trips, take the family around, something that's got a bit more space, something that's a bit higher up, something that was basically the opposite of the BMW, and that's exactly what we achieved with this. I don't have any regrets in buying it. We bought it for £7,000 about a year ago now. Currently it's got 172,642 miles. It's due for an MOT in a couple of months, and we've spent quite a bit on it to keep it running during this last year. We've loved it, but it's cost us a lot of money. That's the general consensus. If you're looking to get one of these cars, be prepared to put your hand in your pocket, be prepared for things to go wrong, to get warning lights coming up. It's very thirsty. We're getting 17 miles per gallon at the moment. But there's something about this car that you don't mind spending the money on it, and you're not particularly surprised when these things happen to it, because it's kind of what you expect when you buy a car like this. So the pros of this car, I would say, if I was going to give you a very quick rundown, would be that it's worth nearly 80 grand new, and we picked it up for 7 grand. So that's a huge bonus. You're getting this luxurious car, beautiful leather seats, so much going on inside it. It's amazing to drive. It's got a V8 engine, and it looks absolutely beautiful in my opinion. So you're getting an incredible amount of car for the money. There's a load of space. The boot's great. The seats fold down. We didn't actually hire a moving van to move house because we have this car. It took a few runs, but we put all of our boxes in here and enjoyed his dad's estate car, and between the two of them, we moved our entire house over. So a huge amount of space, especially when you're driving along as well. It's just amazing. The car seat in the back, plenty of room. There's a little boot flap for changing our baby's nappy, which is one of our favourite points of the car, believe it or not. And it's just a really, really lovely place to be. You're so high up on the road, and this particular model's got a lovely spec. We've got the sunroof, you've got the TVs in the back. Lovely armrest, so when you're driving along, it's so comfortable. You don't get a backache. You've got a heated steering wheel, heated seats, cooled seats. It's just got so much going on. You can probably tell in my voice how exciting this car is for me. Even after a year of driving it, it's still a joy to come into in the morning. Even though it was built in 2009, it doesn't feel like that. It really doesn't. It doesn't feel far off of the level of tech that we're getting in our brand new BMW, because of how expensive this car was brand new. I should probably mention this particular model is the 3.6 TD V8, so it's a Range Rover Vogue in Stornoway Grey. We've got the black leather interior and then the lighter roof, which we quite like. They've got the upgraded perforated seats, but I'm not selling this car today to you, so I don't need to go into too much detail on our specific model. It ticks every box for us. Like, it's such a beautiful car to own. There's obviously a huge following for Land Rovers and Range Rovers. This is my first one, and I can't really imagine not having one now, which probably says a lot. We seem to cling on to cars, don't we? Because I used to work at BMW, and we've always had a BMW. Whatever happened, we've always had one, haven't we? And now we've done this, I think it's going to be the same thing. We're completely addicted. We absolutely love it. So obviously you can pick up the newer model, the L322, which is a bit more modern and probably has a few more bells and whistles on it. However, this is a really lovely sort of middle ground between the kind of utilitarian, rugged, tractory Land Rover that people love, and then the more modern version. It's like somewhere in the middle, and I've considered an L405 as well as a possible next car after this, but I'm kind of still drawn to this model, and I think it just is a real nice sort of like middle ground between the two. There obviously are some negatives with this car, and the main one is the amount of money it's cost us. We did add this up in the 6-month review, and obviously a few more things have happened. What was it in the 6-month review? I'll put the figures on the screen because I can't actually remember it, but we did a full breakdown of it. Several things have gone wrong, so I'll just list a few of the main ones out today. We've had the handbrake mechanism failure, which meant the AA had to come out, and we were just like, it was a proper breakdown, as in we couldn't drive it. The other big one we had was the front right airbag, the strut, the actual bag split on the air suspension, so the car basically was just sinking into the ground. We were driving along and it just kept lowering and lowering, and we got out and we couldn't believe it. It was literally touching the ground, and there was like a message on the dashboard saying do not exceed 30 miles an hour, so that was another big one. What else? There's loads, and my mind's gone completely blank. Various warning lights, coolant light that keep coming on even though there is coolant in the car. We had a few electrical issues at the start. We replaced a battery and it kind of fixed that, but it has cost us thousands over the year. But again, like, spending a couple of grand on a car that's worth 80 new, you'd expect to keep it maintained, and obviously the servicing and the tyres and things are expensive on this car because it was worth so much, but you're spending so little compared to how much the gap is between what we picked it up for at 7 and what it's worth at nearly 80 grand. In my eyes, it's worth it. So really, for £9,000 we've got a car up to a pretty good standard that was worth that much new. Obviously the off-road capabilities go without saying, it's fantastic. We've never done any like crazy serious off-roading, I'd say, but we've never ever struggled with it, and we have done some off-roading in the past. We went to Wales, been to the New Forest. Up to now it's actually been really reliable on these longer trips, touch wood. We've been up to Manchester and back in it. We've been to France and back on it. We took it on the Eurotunnel and Dorset. And it's really just been fantastic for putting luggage in if you're going on a bigger trip. For the weight of the car, I mean obviously the engine's ginormous, it's a V8, but it feels like a light car when you're driving it. Like you wouldn't imagine that how easy it is to be pulling along this weight with this engine, and it's just so lovely to drive. You put your foot down and it really goes. It doesn't feel like a big heavy diesel engine. It's a lot more responsive than you might imagine. One of my favourite parts is this. I mean, it's a dreary day, so I don't really need it today, but ready? 1, 2, yeah. Check this out, but you've never seen that before. And it doesn't end there, guys. If the sun is in this part, extendable. Need to put it back now. But anyway, honestly every car should have that. I think it's shocking when you only have the one now. I'm so used to having two. Obviously I briefly touched on the MPG earlier, 17. It's very expensive to fill up, and it takes, I think the most we've ever put in it is 200 Great British pounds in one tank, which was quite painful, and it probably only lasted about a week because it's so thirsty. It costs a lot to fill up, and it needs filling up often. Obviously if you were driving longer trips, I mean when we were taking it on longer trips, I think we got it up to about 25. Around and about town, which is what we've been doing more recently, especially with the house move, we've been to and from one house to the other. We definitely haven't been giving it the runs that it I couldn't find an indicator there. We definitely haven't been giving it the runs that it deserves, and so obviously the MPG has suffered greatly with that, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's expensive. So I think just to round this video up, if you're considering buying this, and to be completely frank with you and to be completely brutal and honest, if you haven't got an awful lot of money to spend on repairs, this car isn't for you and you shouldn't buy it, because in 6 months time you're going to have to sell the car for less than you bought it because something's gone wrong with it, and you need to get rid of it. So if that is you, I would not recommend this car because it is very expensive. If you have a bigger budget for a car and this is under your budget and you can use the spare money to repair it, this could be a winner. Or if you're just really rich, you've got too much money, then this is perfect. If you need somewhere to spend your money, if you need a place to spend money, or you need somewhere to put your money, you will not have any problem. If you have too much money and you need somewhere to put it, this is the car for you. It would happily take it off of your hands. It's rather greedy in that sense. And I think I mentioned who this car isn't for in my 6-month review video. I think I mentioned it's not good for maybe people living in the centre of London with congestion zones. I had actually had a few great comments. I can't remember any of them now, it's been so long. I asked for you guys who the car's not for, and there were some hilarious comments, but none of them are coming to my brain, so I can't even recall any of them. And I must say this car is particularly enjoyable to drive when it's oh, thank you, when it's rainy and wet and the heated steering wheel's on and the heated seats on, and it was snowing recently here, and it was really cold and it was minus something, and there was a thick layer of ice on the car every morning, and because it's got the heated windscreen, I just sat there for like a minute and the ice was gone. And that luxury of not having to scrape your car is amazing, and it just made me appreciate the car even more. So I feel like this is a cold weather car. So if you're watching this, considering buying one, and you have enough money, go for it. Highly recommend. Definitely be keeping it for a bit longer. If we sell it, we'll get another, either L322 or L405, I imagine, and enjoy it. And I'm excited for you if you're about to experience one of these. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you are an L322 owner, or you have been in the past and you agree or disagree with any of my points, then obviously leave me a comment below. We can have a chat down in the comments. So thank you so much for watching. Give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, like I said before, if you're new. It's completely free, really helps me out, really